What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. For those of you that are new, thanks for stopping by. For those of you that have been here for a while, watched a lot of videos, and maybe even subscribed, I see you and I appreciate you. Let's get to the video. All right, guys, first thing, I got to get a little bit of housekeeping done. Go down below in the description. I've got a link to my link tree. I've got all my affiliate links listed right there. I've got some really good ones. Primary Arms, Palmetto State, dye-free company, makes the Kung Fu grip. I don't have one on this rifle, but my other ones I do. Ballistic Advantage, I've got a lot of their barrels and I love them. If you need any kind of optic or gun part you can think of, Primary Arms has probably got you covered. You can get some really good optics for a good price, and you can get barrels, handguards, stocks, anything Magpul's got to offer, whatever you want. Check them out. I appreciate it. Oh, and this shirt came from Pike Tactical. It's got the Alabama with a flag on the back because, you know, I've got to represent for Alabama. Pike Tactical in Pike Road, Alabama. They've got SOT. They can do silencers, short barrel rifles, that sort of thing. They're cool guys. Got a lot of cool stuff in there. That's where I got these anechoic suppressors. Got them sent through there. Easy process. Hey, they're also with Silencer Shop. So they're like a affiliated vendor or whatever with Silencer Shop. Smooth, painless process for getting silencers shipped to them and transferred to you. So check them out. All right, now that we've gotten all that stuff out of the way, let's get to the main topic of the video, which is a little bit of a discussion on those mid-range AR-15 barrel lengths, kind of like 13.9, 14.5, that sort of thing. And I really want to discuss why people use those and why I don't think you should use one. Before you get too mad at me about all that, let me set the groundwork. Let me put a little foundation down. I do think that 14.5 might be the best AR-15 barrel. There's a reason why the military chose it when they made the M14 or M4. I mean, you know, it takes a good bit of length off that 20-inch M16 barrel, but you still get to maintain a good bit of velocity for the 55 grain, whatever grain 5.56 you want to use. You still get to maintain a good bit of that velocity. So the 14.5, to me and to a lot of people, is the happy median between barrel length, velocity, and size, and all that stuff. It's kind of you get the most of both worlds, not the best of both worlds. You get the most of both worlds, if that makes sense. So I know you're thinking, I just said it's the best barrel for AR-15. Why am I talking about not using it? Well, the reason is the NFA, for whatever reason, decided 16 was the minimum barrel length. And so that's, for the in a nutshell, why I think you shouldn't go 14.5, because 16 is the lowest you can go and still have a hassle-free rifle. You can travel with it. You don't have to worry about getting it registered, doing an SBR, or trying to make it a pistol, or any of that nonsense. You can just have the rifle like it's intended. You can use it however you want, take it wherever you want. So mostly what I don't understand, or what I disagree with, is, you know, sacrificing all of those benefits of the 16, which is the you know, a stock. It's a rifle. You don't have to use a brace. It is a rifle, like I said. You don't have to register it as an SBR. You're only having to deal with an 1.5 inch more barrel to get all the benefits of a standard civilian carbine. So I just don't understand the reasoning of, you know, going through all that trouble. Or the second thing is, I guess, you know, you can pin and weld. That's probably the more popular option, is to pin and weld a 2.5 inch muzzle device to the end of your muzzle to make it 16 inches, which to me doesn't make sense either, because now you're permanently attaching all of that length right back onto the barrel. You're giving up 1.5 inches, 2 inches of velocity, which in that mid range is not that much. But at any rate, you're cutting back all that just to add it right back again, and now you're stuck with that muzzle device. You know, if you want to get a different one, you got to unweld it or cut the pin. I don't even know how you take a pin and welded muzzle device off, but you got to go through that trouble to change your muzzle device out. And then if we talk about suppressors, which seems like everybody's got nowadays, your muzzle device is how your suppressor mounts to your rifle. You could argue that if you get like a Plan B or something hub compatible, you could weld it and you have a lot more options with your suppressor. But I see a lot of guys, you know, they've got those like Dead Air and Surefire and stuff like that pin and welded to their barrel, and those are proprietary. Like, those are the only silencers that are going to use that stuff. If you want to use a Dead Air Chemo on a hub, you've got to add that whole big nonsense onto the back of it, and it just doesn't make sense to me. So the next point, once you pin and weld that 2-inch muzzle device right here and you want to put a silencer on it, that silencer has to have a blast chamber big enough to fit that long muzzle device. A lot of them, you know, Yankee Hill, I've got a Turbo T3 that has a really small blast chamber, less than 2 inches. It's not going to fit. If you put a low pro adapter on here, it's not going to fit. So the way they get around that is adding that big mount in the back, and it basically just pushes your silencer farther away so they could fit, you know, a dual port or a full-size flash hider, that sort of thing, in that blast chamber. But for those of you that hadn't been paying attention, we're trying to keep this thing as small as possible, and now we're just adding length back. So you've already added the barrel length back to your pin and welded device, and now you're adding an even longer silencer to the system. So your overall system is probably, what, a 1/2 inch shorter than, you know, just having a standard 16-inch that you don't have to worry about, that you can change muzzle devices whenever you want. So I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand the point of, you know, taking 1.5 inches of barrel, having to pin and weld, and I just don't understand the whole process of that. So on a gun that you don't have to pin and weld, you know, you can put a low pro adapter on here and really draw that silencer into the gun to make it shorter. You can put a single chamber or a short flash hider. You're not tied to a certain length of muzzle device. You can really draw that thing in, especially if it's got like a small blast chamber. You don't have to push it out to fit your muzzle device that you're stuck to. You can pick the smallest things you can find, and it doesn't matter because you've got the option to do that. So the whole point of, you know, as far as I can tell, the whole point of going 14.5 or 13.9 is to make it smaller. So, you know, the only way you can legally do that is to make it bigger. So I don't understand. So if you do understand, if you're a proponent of 14.5 or whatever, let me know below what the benefit is. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. Haven't done enough research. I don't know. I would love to have a 14.5. If the NFA said 14.5 was the length we could do it, all of them would be that way. But it's not. And to me, 1.5 inches is not worth the trouble of having to go through all the things that I just talked about. All right, guys. Hope you liked that video. It's just a little discussion. I wasn't trying to, you know, pick anybody out or you know, be mean or anything like that. So just a little discussion, just to get everybody talking. You know, maybe I can learn something from it. But anyway, I hope you liked the video. Guys, get your rifles, get them outside, use them, shoot them, make sure they're zeroed. If you've got 2 dots, scope and a dot, make sure both of them work. Know your ranges. Hey, make sure everything's Loctited too. This crap gets loose over time. It's aluminum. A lot of it is. You've got steel screws and aluminum. Put some Loctite on them. Make sure the crap's not going nowhere. Make sure it's zeroed in. Take it out and shoot it, because these things are fun. Get outside and have some fun with it. Main thing is you'll get to know how to use it. You'll be good with it and you'll have fun at the same time. So take them out and use them. We'll see y'all next time.